So for this pattern you need Aran weight yarn. This is King Cole Big Value. It's in shade Berber. It's a really nice sort of tweed effect yarn. You need about 50 grams of that, so about half the ball, a 5mm hook, a darning needle and your scissors. Okay, so we're going to begin by making a simple slip knot. If you need to slow down at all, there's a few other videos on my YouTube channel to help. And we're going to begin by chaining 70. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So I'm going to chain 70 and I'll meet you back. Okay, so we've got our chain 70 and then we're going to start in the third chain from the hook. So that's 1, 2 and 3. And we're going to double crochet into that third chain from the hook. And we're going to double crochet in each chain to the end. Okay, so you can see it's double crochet all the way across the chain and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so there we go. We've double crocheted in each chain across. So I should have said this is to make a medium adult size headband, but if you want to make a different size, the starting chain details are on my website, but the basic rule is that you want it to have about 1 inch, to be about 1 inch wider than your head measurements. So just chain to suit your head, measure it around your head as you go, and then just carry on from there. The only rule is that it needs to be an even number. So I'm going to chain 1 and then we're going to single crochet in each of the double crochets from the previous round. So this makes up, this would be the wrong side of your headband, so this side that faces inside. So anytime you make a single crochet row, that will be on the wrong side, and then any double crochet rows will be on the right side. Okay, so just single crochet across and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so we've single crocheted all the way across. So then for the next row, we're going to chain 2 and we're going to turn our work. So on this row, we're going to start with the alpine part of the pattern. So we're going to treat our chain 2 here as our first double crochet, so that's going to be right on the edge. And then our first stitch, then we want to work into this double crochet here. So we're going to do a front post double crochet. So you're going to yarn over your hook, and then you're going to insert your hook around the stitch like that. Going to yarn over and then pull through. You could keep this quite a long stitch here so that it doesn't curl. You're going to pull through 2. I'm going to pull through 2. So that's your first front post double crochet. And then so you can see that's your first where you chained. That's where you front post. So then you double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so you've got 1 front post and 1 double. So then let's do that again. So you skip that one because you've already double crocheted there. And then you front post, double crochet around that stitch there, keeping it nice and tall stitch. Okay, so then double crochet in the next stitch. Front post, double crochet in the next stitch. There we go. So if you need to slow the video down here at all, have a bit of a practice, keep going. I'll show you a few more times. So double crochet there, and front post, double crochet. Oops. Keep losing my yarn. There we go. So I find that a good way to check is to just always look if you've got one stitch in the middle there. That helps me to make sure that so you see you've got one there, that I'm working in the right stitches. Okay, so there we go, we've got one front post and one double, so carry on like that, and then I'll meet you when we get to the end. Okay, so we front post double crochet all the way to the end until the last 2 stitches. So we're just going to double crochet in each of the last 2. Okay, so that's the end of row 3. I'm just going to chain 1 and turn. And now we see we're working on the back side. I'm just going to single crochet in every stitch across on the back side of the headband. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, so we're going to single crochet all the way to the end, and just remember that your first chain 2 counted as a stitch, so you want to make sure that you make your final single crochet into the top of that chain 2. Okay, so now we're going to turn our work to face the right way, and we're going to do the same. So chain 2 is going to count as our first stitch there. So what we want to do here is in the first stitch, so that counts as a double, and then in the next stitch, just on top of where this front post double is, we're going to make a double crochet in that stitch there. Okay, so then the next one, we're going to front post double around this double from the previous, not the single crochet row, but the row before. So as we did before, I'm going to yarn over around the post, double crochet keeping it nice and tall, and then double crochet in the top just above where that front post double crochet is from the previous double crochet round. And you do that again, so front post double crochet around the double, and then double on top of where the front post is. Okay, so front post double and double. So you can see this is where we start to form the alpine stitch pattern. So after this, it's pretty much a repeat of what we've done so far. So the idea is that your front post doubles fit in between each of the front post doubles in the alternating rounds. Okay, so carry on making front post double around this center double, and then double on top of the front post until you get to the end, and then I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, so we're at the last 2 stitches, so we're just going to front post double on the second to last, and then double in the last one. Okay, so that's the end of that row, and so you can see the alpine stitch starting to form really nicely now. So the next row, we're just going to single crochet all the way along as we have done before. So chain 1 and turn, and single crochet in each stitch across. And again, I'll meet you back at the end of this row. Okay, so for the next row, we're going to turn so that our right side is facing us. I'm going to chain 2, which counts as our first double, and then we're going to front post double crochet around that first stitch, and then double crochet in the top. So you'll see that this is a repeat of the row that we did down here now, so we're working in repeats for the remainder of the pattern. So front post double around the double, and then double in the top of the front post from the previous double crochet round. Okay, so carry on as you were to the end. And if you remember, you'll have 2 remaining stitches, so I'll meet you back at those 2 remaining stitches just so we can go over that again. And so I'll see you at the end. Okay, so we've reached the last 2 stitches, and just like we did before, I'm just going to double crochet in each of the last 2. So as you can probably see, it's starting to curl a little bit, and that's quite common for the alpine stitch. Don't worry about it too much. All we're going to do at the end is to block it, so I'll talk you through that later in the video, just to let you know you don't need to worry if it's starting to curl. So next we're just going to do another row of single crochet, so chain 1 and turn, and single crochet in each stitch across. Okay, and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so we're at the end of row 8, and we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to double crochet in the top, and front post double crochet in the double crochet from round 7. Yeah. So we're just going to carry on as we have been, and you can probably see the pattern starting to form now. I'm going to work a total of 12 rows, but you can stop at any point when your headband gets to the width that you want. I just recommend finishing on a single crochet to keep that edge neat. So carry on working front post double, and then just double in the top there. Okay, I'll see you again at the end. Okay, so we're at the end of row 9, so we just did 1 front post double and then finished with a double. There's chain 1, turn. I'm going to do single crochet all the way along for row 10. So just single crochet all the way to the end, and I'll see you at the end for our final 2 rows. Okay, so I'm at the end of row 10. We're going to work our final alpine stitch row now, so that'd be row 11. I'm going to chain 2, I'm going to front post double crochet and the double crochet from the previous double crochet row, and double crochet in there. So I'm just going to repeat that to the end. Like I said, I'm working 12 rows for this pattern, but you can absolutely carry on until your headband's the width that you want. So if you want to work a few more rows, just keep following the pattern until you get to the height you want, and then you can just move to the part where we do the twist. Okay, so I'm going to work to the end of this row doing your front post double and your doubles, and then row 12 you're just going to work 1 row of single crochet, and then you'll be finished off. So work to the end of this row and then work 1 more row of single crochet, and then I'll see you for the twist section. Okay. Right, so I've reached the end of my 12 rows. So I'm just going to fasten off my yarn to leave a relatively long tail, because you're going to be sewing up your headband. So just pull through to fasten off. Okay, so as you can see, it's still got a slight curl. So the way to solve that is there's 2 options. You can either lightly spray it with water. So I just put some water into an old hair product bottle and spray the headband till it's quite damp, and then pin out the sides. So I use a yoga mat, but you could use towels. If you've got a blocking board, use a blocking board, and you pin it out and then leave it to dry, and that'll really flatten out the edges. I'm not going to do it in this video because I'm losing the daylight a little bit, and I want to make sure I show you the twist. So what I'm going to do is thread yarn through the needle. So with the inside, with the right side facing you, so you're going to take your two ends and you're going to make them interlock. So you measure them up halfway and then you're going to wrap this end like that so it's enclosed in, and then wrap that way. Okay, so I'll show you one more time. Another way to look at it is that you turn them into two C's and you slot them in together. Okay, so you can see that you've got 4 pieces nicely lined up like that. So just make sure it's all lined up on the edges. And then you're going to, I'm just going to face it this way to sew. So you're going to sew across each of the 4 pieces. Go right up to the end there. Okay, you're just going to go back again. Okay, so that should be nice and secure now. So I'm just going to tie a knot through the stitches just to secure. I'm going to weave in my end, so just weave back and forth through a few different stitches just to secure that end. And do the same with this loose end. So I'm just going to pop it through to the other side just to fasten it in. And I'm just going to weave back and forth for a few different stitches just to secure that in place. Okay, so you now just turn your headband round and you can see your twisters formed there. And there you have it. So you can see the really, really lovely textured stitch. Keep your ears super warm. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe and keep up to date with any of my latest patterns. And enjoy the pattern. Thanks.